From Anshe Sfard Beth El Emeth Congregation, it's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Parashat Beshalach, the bitter and the sweet. Toward the end of the parasha, after the splitting of the sea, Vayavo Marata, they came to a bitter place called Marah. They couldn't drink the waters of Marah because it was very bitter there. The word Marah means bitter. Al-Kain Karashma Marah, that's why they call that place Marah, bitter, the bitter place. The people complained to Moshe, what are we going to drink? People called out to God. God showed him where there was indeed a certain tree. He threw that into the water. The waters became sweetened and drinkable. This last phrase is less clear. There, he placed before him a statute, a law, and that's where he tested him. What does it mean that there he placed before him a statute and a law? What does it refer to? Here, the commentaries abound. Trying to get to the simple meaning of the text, the Ramban, Nachmanides, and following his footsteps, the Rabbeinu Bachye, suggests that it was at this place that Moshe laid out for the people, what's the law of the land? Or what are the rules here? All right, we're in the desert. We'll be hanging out here for a while. All right, these are the rules. No kidding around. Certain things that people should and should not be doing. What would be the customs and practices of this congregation, this community, until they come to the inhabited land? In the Mechilta, they see this as an opportunity for God to teach the Jews the Torah for the very first time. Now, mind you, in Egypt, there was some instruction about the Korban Pesach and the Pesach, but somehow this in some ways is seen as the very first opportunity prior to Sinai for God to teach laws to the Jewish people. Now, the Mechilta has two versions, Rabbi Yeshua and Rabbi Eliezer Hamodai. Rabbi Yeshua says that chok, a law that's inexplicable, very hard to fathom, zah Shabbat. That's Shabbos. Shabbos is enigmatic. Yes, it's based on certain concepts. God created the world. We rested in Egypt, but from our Egyptian slavery. But still, what exactly is the meaning of Shabbat? This is an enigma. That's Shabbos. Mishpat, a law we can understand, is Kibud Avayim, honoring of the parents. Now, where did Rabbi Yeshua get this from? So he gets that from the fact that in one version of the Ten Commandments, found in Devarim, it says, Kasher tzivcha, Hashem Elokecha, as God commanded you. That you should honor your parents, should keep the Shabbos as God commanded you. Where did God command you? And the rabbi said right here, at Marah, at this bitter place, God commanded us regarding Shabbos, and regarding honoring our parents. Rabbi Eliezer Hamodai, another rabbi, said, no, chok, something inexplicable, hard to explain, that's arayot. The laws of immorality, promiscuity, these are the laws which are hard to grasp. You can't explain it rationally. After all, that's what someone wants to do, but it's beyond the rational. It's called the chukot ha'toivot, these abominable laws and things that people do. Mishpat are laws we do understand. These have to do with various fines and things like that. The dinim, the laws of courts. Now Rashi somehow doesn't follow either one, kind of combines the two and throws in a new one. Rashi says, Shabbat. Okay, we had that already. Para aduma, that the chok, the ultimate chok. What's the ultimate chok? The ultimate law we don't understand? Para aduma, the red heifer. Why it defiles those who are pure, it makes pure those who are defiled. And dinim, and laws, regular laws of fines and things like that. Some suggest that there's a typo here in Rashi. It really, as the Torah Tamima suggests, really should read Kibud Avayim, not Para Aduma, but Kibud Av. The acrostic was mistaken, perhaps, but it ain't necessarily so. Even the Ramban, hundreds of years ago, had the text of Rashi as we have it here today. Now, the Rav Amital wanted to suggest, Rav Amital of blessed memory, the heads of the yeshiva at Yeshivat Har Etzion in Gush, he said a beautiful thought that if someone came to him, he says, and said, Rabbi, how do I begin my Jewish life? He said, Sham sam lo chok mishpat v'sham nisahu. There is a beginning. The beginning of Jewish life is right here at Mara. And what did God choose to give us? How do you start returning to Judaism and to God? Number one, you have to remember that part of the Torah is the rational laws. Kibud avayim, honoring your parents. You want to be more religious? Honor your parents more. Law, and Judaism and Torah and God is not just about ritual and things between us and God, but rather it includes that which is rational, that which is the moral, and that's one thing to remember as we try to be more committed to the Torah. And then we have to appreciate there are also irrational mitzvot. The Torah is not just there to fulfill what we think is right, but also the paraduma, also the red heifer, laws which they don't make sense. Why should we do it? What does it mean? We don't get it. We still have to do it anyway. That's what it means to be a servant of God and to follow the Torah. And thirdly, there's Shabbat. You can call Shabbat in the realm of ritual, or you can call Shabbat something unique. Shabbos is something which, if a person, says Rabbi Mital, wants to gross himself in the Jewish community, you want to get deeper into your Jewish life, one place to begin is Shabbos. Maybe a little bit at the time, making Shabbos more and more holy and honoring it more each Shabbos. Because there's something very central about the Shabbos, not only in the Ten Commandments, but right here at Mara, and the Parsha goes on to describe early laws of Shabbat and the manna from heaven. These, say Rabbi Tal, the three central features, the rational, the irrational, and then somehow Shabbos in a category, all to its own. I'd like to suggest one final interpretation, and that is, they came to this bitter place, that indeed in life there are many places and challenges we reach that are very bitter parts of life. We're challenged with death, we're challenged with various conflicts in life, very difficult to deal with. Then we have to learn that there can be the Torah, the Eitz Chaim, the Torah can bring sweetness to our lives. And how do we continue this notion of both to appreciate the bitter and the sweet? We have to incorporate into our lives even things that are difficult challenges, to make the difficult challenges of life part of our life, ritualize into our lives, the challenges of things like Shabbos that are hard to keep it going. And also things that are more pleasant and things that are so beautiful and that bring so much joy to our life, like Shabbos, like so many mitzvot, that bring a sweetness to our lives. If we want to train to be ready for the school of hard knocks, which life often is, we have to have rituals in our lives, activities in our lives that are both hard to perform, challenges, nisyonot, challenges in our lives, and also we need to bring some sweetness, the sweetness of Torah, sweetness of Shabbos. If we can do that, hopefully, Sham Nisar will pass that test. We'll pass that test of being able to make it through life, and not that life should be bitter, mara. Rather, vayim teku amayim, the waters become sweeter. And how's that? Through our engagement in the Torah, both its challenges and the benefits and rewards that we can reap from it. Thank you for joining us here at the Anshe Sfar Beth Elameth congregation here for our discussion today. Feel free to look at our archives for past discussions of the Parshiyot. Thank you, Jason Lefkowitz, for making today's presentation possible. I want to dedicate our learning again today in memory of my father, blessed memory, Baruch Reb Chaim Shmuel. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.